So, Ellen, how are you doing?
I'm awesome.
Ellen, why don't you tell us a little
Ellen
bit about
is
your story?
awesome,
All
by the
right,
way. Her bio. Oh my God.
All
Another
right.
another person that makes me want to just shoot myself and start over.
Well, let's get into Ellen's bio. Ellen, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get back into it.
Oh, yeah. Don't you love the made up bios? No.
Yeah.
You mean you really didn't go across Europe and competitively ski downhill and skydive and everything else that I saw that you did?
Yeah, no, all of that and probably more if I could. We're here to have fun and say yes to things, which led to all of that, like going to school across to England, not knowing what the heck I was doing, coming back, not knowing what I wanted to work in, falling into some work in the corporate world on financial services, being really good in that world. Then my husband let me finally jump out of the airplane and do all that fun stuff when the kids were older. And then the last corporate role was like, I'm just not doing this anymore. And I'd rather go have fun and be my own boss.
So when her husband says jump out of the airplane, that's a good thing. If
I
your
did.
wife said jump out of an airplane, Chris, I think that wouldn't be.
And she say, and I packed your chute for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it sounds
Well,
like it's clinking clanking. Don't worry about those. Those are not forks and knives.
the kids had to be old enough that if I splattered on the ground, I wasn't going to leave them raising kids.
That's right.
You snorted.
I did too. We made ourselves laugh, everybody. That's right.
Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent to that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse through the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from hitting your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop.
Alan, it is time again to get back together with you. But after 17 years in business, I'm about ready to take this shirt off, throw it down, and say, the Trusted Toolbox sucks. I'm no longer with the Trusted Toolbox. I've had it. It has been 3 days of absolute 1,000% hell.
How many times did you use the F word in the last 3 days?
The over-under on that one, you probably would be wrong if you were anything under 1,000.
Oof.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ellen. Yes.
Yeah. Ellen, he kind of gave me one of the lines that he said, and I'm like, I'm not really even sure what the sentence was. I know what you intended because it was just F, 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 effing F, F, F. And then
break it off in you, F, 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 F.
Yeah.
Break it more off in you, F, 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 F. Yeah, we've had one of those, as I was telling Ellen, I was telling Alan before, you won't see this in my book, From the Zoo to the Wild, but you will say that you will see this chapter says a well-placed F-bomb does work with the right people.
Mhm.
But you won't see this in any of John Maxwell's leadership books. You won't see this in Tony Robbins. You won't see this in Peter Drucker. You won't see this in any of your leading, definitely not 7 Habits of Highly Effective People books. But I had to, unfortunately, do some things because my business was not running as well as it should. The results weren't where it was at all. And everything we had tried over 6 months just wasn't working. And I finally had to make a drastic change. And
you made some hard decisions.
I made a very hard decision. I let somebody go who's been with me for over 12 years. Then I kept the 3 people working for him who I really probably should have fired, and I let them know exactly what I thought of them and what I thought of their performance and why I did what I did. Then one of them decided not to show up this morning for our meeting, or was running quote unquote late. And I decided to tell him exactly where I thought the rest of his body parts were going to go. And let him know that that's not acceptable. And unfortunately, the entire office, even behind closed doors, everybody heard it across all 5,000 square foot, maybe even 20,000 square feet of the office space I'm in. But yeah, Alan had said it before. Sometimes you got to be Bobby Knight and throw the chair. This was not calculated. This was absolutely me letting them know that their jobs are on the line. The business performance was not where it was supposed to be. I'm making it sound all very corporate and nicey nice now, but no, we were into it. And I'm getting now daily updates on exactly not only just what they did. I'm literally, I told one of them I wanted to know every time he took a movement. That's right. Yep. So there we go, guys. 17 years in business. I'm ready to take that shirt off, whip it down. And the joke there is that that's exactly what my son did in kindergarten, is that a teacher came up to him and said, "We do not do that at this school." And he went to a school that had a uniform. So he took the uniform off in kindergarten, threw it down and said, "I don't go here anymore. This place sucks," and walked out.
But it is the big difference between owning your own business and corporate. Corporate, you're using other people's money and you can do a disciplinary action without all the F-bombs. But there's a whole bunch of people in line who want that job, and you can probably reload with bigger, better, faster, stronger. When it's your own business, it's your freaking money, and you don't have that succession line because you just don't have that sort of mass inertia with the people. And you know these people like family, and you know that they can do better, and so you're disappointed, but they're costing you money, and you can't fix it unless every once in a while you chuck the chair across the floor.
As I told Alan, not only did I chuck the chair across the floor like Bobby Knight, I took it and then chucked it up in the stadium, and then killed somebody, threw that corpse on the court, went out there and tap danced all around it in front of 30,000 people. So, yes,
As you said, how did I do?
how'd I do?
So we do have a guest.
Ellen Tyler has joined us.
She
and
might actually have some words that might make
I
you
would
feel
say,
better.
Ellen, if you had a client come to you and give you that download, what would you tell him or her? Because we know you work mostly with women. What would you tell them to do?
I'd use my favorite phrase. You're the problem and you're the solution.
Good one. I agree. And that was me trying to work through my solution.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I definitely was the problem when I looked at the books and looked at this, and I let this go on for a long time. I just kept telling myself it's going to get better. We made a change. Oh, that's going to get better. We made 3 changes. Oh, it's definitely going to work better. Hey, he's a really good manager, and I know he knows his stuff, and he knows how to do this stuff. It's going to get better, and it just didn't. And literally,
and
when I
you
let
had
him go, he said, "But you know that this month was going to be our best month ever." And I said, "Yeah, unfortunately, we said that in the fall, and we said that in the spring, and here we are in the summer, and it still ain't happening."
And you know how I like to make fun of you and pick on you and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, in your defense, you had made so many good moves, which are kind of against your nature. I mean, you do like to be in control, and yet you hired a general manager. I mean, you were trying to let go. And then when you let go, what did you get?
Yeah, and so the general manager is still with me. It was the remodeling manager that I let go. He's newer, but yeah, he felt the wrath of it too, and he knows that it's now his butt on the line, and it's got to be a better performance because now it's going to be his performance on that, which he was already tied to it anyway.
Yeah,
which is what's killing me.
He's next.
So, Ellen, how are you doing?
I'm awesome.
Ellen, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
awesome.
All right, yeah.
Her bio. Oh my God, another person that makes me want to just shoot myself and start over.
Well, let's get into Ellen's bio. Ellen, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get back into it.
Oh, yeah. Don't you love the made up bios? No.
You mean you really didn't go across Europe and competitively ski downhill and skydive and everything else that I saw that you did?
Yeah, no, all of that and probably more if I could. We're here to have fun and say yes to things, which led to all of that, like going to school across to England, not knowing what the heck I was doing, coming back, not knowing what I wanted to work in, falling into some work in the corporate world on financial services, being really good in that world. Then my husband let me finally jump out of the airplane and do all that fun stuff when the kids were older. And then the last corporate role was like, I'm just not doing this anymore. And I'd rather go have fun and be my own boss.
So when her husband says jump out of the airplane, that's a good thing. If
I
your
did,
wife said
yeah.
jump out of an airplane, Chris, I think that wouldn't be.
And she say, "And I packed your chute for you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it sounds like it's clinking clanking. Don't worry about those. Those are not forks and knives.
The kids had to be old enough that if I splattered on the ground, I wasn't going to leave them raising kids.
That's right.
You just snorted.
I did too. 'Cause that was we made ourselves laugh. Everybody, that's right. Ellen, but Ellen's here. Ellen, how many times have you skydived?
Just twice. I do it more, but
Because she's got so many other things going on.
yes.
It's just one thing after another.
Stair right now. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
So
So, all right. What else are we doing that's for fun? I like it. The yes and the improv. Let's do it.
So I just like telling stories. So when we went whitewater rafting, which I love because it's not that far from here. The future son-in-law came with us and lied to his parents because he because they didn't let him ride his bike on the street and told him we were going tubing.
Okay.
Tubing.
Tubing on a
The
very, very slow
highest
rapids
class
in
rapids
Helen.
you could be in. And then the one daughter who came showed up in flip-flops, not understanding, like, this is serious.
So you were doing class 5?
Uh-huh.
Where
Were,
where was this?
were you on the Akoi or the Nantahala?
I don't know if they have class 5 in Georgia.
Natahalia.
No.
So
Yeah.
if you go up there, that's where they train for the Olympics.
That's right. See, that I knew
Yeah.
that. You know why? Because we have the house up there, buddy.
Yeah. How many times have you taken the rapids?
I did it exactly twice, every time with a guide.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would never whitewater raft without a guide.
You know, I did try to talk my family into doing it. I'm like, I've been down this river enough. Come on, let's do it. No way.
Oh,
You're right. It is pretty serious because I did take my mom and dad years ago there, and sure enough, my dad's the one who fell out, and he's not a little
oh,
man. And thank God I'm a bigger man than he is, so I could yank him and pull him back in.
You must have felt really bad
I
for a minute
did
there.
too.
Oh my God.
It's because, by the way, my dad doesn't know how to swim. It's even better. Oh yeah.
so
That is intense. So yeah, Nantahala, it's a beautiful ride. It starts out kind of like, oh hey, this is nothing, no big
yeah,
deal. Ah, da, 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 da. And then you hear the banjos, buddy, and it's
yeah.
going on, man, and it gets rocking and rolling. That's right. They train up there. I was just driving up there a couple months ago, and I saw some guys doing the duck
Yeah.
boats.
You see ambulances, you see, there,
Well, there's a
yeah,
lot more rocks. So I
Yep.
grew up out
yes,
west, and I whitewater rafted quite a bit, and I've been on some big water. And then the first time I did it here in Georgia, I'm like, okay, the river is much smaller, but it's a lot more technical. And if you're not rowing in sync, I mean, you're going to broadside on
oh,
that rock.
somebody's gonna fall.
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
get blasted.
Yeah, there are good business lessons with that when especially when you've got a bunch of people in there. You've heard this phrase, and especially in business, we're all rowing in the same direction. Yeah, well, if you're not rowing in the same direction, this one, buddy, you're taking a
Yeah,
rock off the side of your head,
Hmm.
and next thing you know, you're upside down in the water, and you can't figure out which side's right side up. That's
pretty,
cool. I love that story. That's a great one.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Alan, I got to give you some props. I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, and I don't know what possessed me, but I started reading the recommendations that people had written for you, and
Oh,
I've looked at people's recommendations before, and they all read like he asked me to make a recommendation, and so here's a nice corporate recommendation. These are full of exclamation points and words like "wow," and there was one that really hit me. It was something about you taught this person that success was measured in things other than money, and as a result, she's now fluent in Spanish and knows how to blow glass. So I
yes,
thought that could be kind of an interesting thing to discuss. That is not your typical business coach.
no. I always say I'm the business coach and I could care less about your business. Like people think that their businesses are unique and special unto themselves and they have their own problems and it's they're all the same. You sell a widget or a service and then you have to figure out how to sell the widget or service with all the other operational stuff. And sometimes, especially in business, they think it's a money issue. So they'll come in the door thinking, I just need to increase the revenue and net profit. And I'm like, well, you can come in the door that way, but it's never the money.
Hiring people is the hardest thing we can do. Retaining people is even harder, but man, it is so hard to find good people. That's why I put my trust in qualified applicants. The team over there has done a great job helping me find sales managers, helped me find my office manager, helped me find my general manager, but has also helped me find my handyman here in my business at the Trusted Toolbox. Qualified applicants, they do a great job. They realize that this is not just a recruiting effort, it is a marketing and recruiting effort. And the way they attack our space of home services is amazing. Go check out Qualified Applicants now to help you with your hiring needs. Yeah, it's a great point because that's exactly one of the issues that I had was I always felt like the in this issue that just happened to us is that the revenue would overcome the ills. and it
Yeah.
just never did, and it truly didn't. And then you started looking at, and
Krista,
again,
as your friend, I'm going to say this would have been a perfect time to let her finish that sentence, especially after the week that you've had. So it's not about the money, Ellen.
what's
What were what were you
No,
going to say after that?
Because I'm gonna cry.
it's what the money does.
Ooh. Well, I have fun with my money.
You know,
It
there's
was
no
cut
doubt
off
that
the
Big
window.
Daddy
I
spends
mean,
his money.
yeah,
He
I
needs
mean,
more.
yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's what you do. It's you're right. It's the fun. But I mean, it's for me. Back to me, please.
Back
Thank
to
you.
you.
It's
enough
so,
enough
All
about our
about you.
guest. How about me?
well, that's why Ellen's here. She didn't know she was going to be giving free coaching to everybody on this podcast listening. Guys, don't forget to listen. Go out there and tell everybody about this. I just had somebody else ping us. Love what we're doing. Going to have somebody else come down and visit the mecca that is the Trusted Toolbox, see how a well-oiled machine runs. And I'm definitely going to hide part of that thing, or I can throw some sawdust in that transmission. But back to Ellen. So you've been coaching for how long?
A little bit over 6 years, going in the seventh.
Who have been your most fun clients?
The ones that do the work.
Right? Huh.
What does that mean? I mean, because when I
Well,
think, I mean, is that you meet with them and then you talk about the issues and then you actually give them homework or marching orders? She's nodding her head.
yeah. So a lot of people just want the magic. They want the magic answer to how does the revenue increase? What marketing do I need to do? And then I come across and tell them it doesn't really matter because it's more what they think about the marketing that impacts it compared to the actual marketing because all marketing works, all sales work. It's just finding the one for you that fits. And they all know. So they actually have work to do every single day. They know what they have to work on in the morning. It's like, how do you prep your mind for the morning? How do you prep your day? Like, do you just wake up, roll out of bed, scroll and read your emails from work, start putting out fires? Or do you actually prepare so that you're better able to respond and not react?
Yeah, respond, not react. Let's talk about that. Easier said than done, and that's
Mhm.
back to putting in the work. To Alan's question,
Yep.
what are some techniques on that? Putting that work in to start responding and not reacting.
That you
Um,
could have used earlier this week? Is that
Oh no, there's no way.
Shut your mouth and be
nope?
quiet for like 20 seconds and 30 seconds and breathe.
He can do the breathing part.
I
Yeah.
did breathe. Oh, I was
But
breathing.
it really is in your head. It's like, do you even need to answer at that point? Or do you need to even say something or do you just walk away?
Yeah, I think some of my best, we've a lot of us have said this. I've said this in all my training too, is that the adult brain needs one sleep cycle to fully comprehend something. And I never finished the rest because most of my guys, again, in the trades, is that then you need to really reflect and think about it for a minute. But we all do everybody jokes about this. You do your best thinking on the toilet. You do your best thinking in the shower. You do your best thinking when you're distracted and your mind is willing to do its best. And I'm
Right.
not talking distracted with social media. I'm talking about distracted that allows you to really get into it. And that's where this is where I came up with this is where it happened as I did all my analysis, this didn't just happen on Monday. This wasn't some rash reaction. I've always said I will never make a big decision on a Monday. And I did not make that big decision on Monday. Unfortunately, I had made it the Wednesday before. And so I decided to execute on the
On
decision on a
Monday.
Monday
I know.
because I had a good mentor of mine say, "Why are you waiting? If you don't know you're going to do it, just do it." And he goes, "I can't believe you didn't do it on Friday." Friday, by the way, is July 4th, our Independence holiday.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I wasn't going to do that. So, but
Don't do
yeah,
it.
I mean, I think your point's valid. So responding versus reacting, getting in there, taking that breath, not doing that. I tell you, when I'm at my best, I'm not looking at my phone and scrolling through emails and text messages right off the bat.
Yep. Look, I have 5 kids, all grown. Anyone who has kids knows what reactionary is. Like hot buttons all along. They know how to pick arguments, they know who to pick it with, and they're the best ones to practice that skill on.
Boy, if I would have had five, I think I have one that equals five.
I wouldn't disagree.
Sometimes
With
they're
you.
challenging.
I have two, but my oldest is a daughter. So how many?
He is a
You got?
product of her parents. I will tell you that.
Well, yes,
4 girls, 1 boy.
yeah. And she said, I'll never forget. In one of them, we started talking. She said something. I'm like, no. And then next thing you know, we got into it right in front of her friend, and her friend looked at me and says, "That's your boy." Talking about my daughter. I'm like, damn it, because she's just like me. But yeah, so that's awesome though. You're right though. With the kids are great lessons for anybody, and but you learn from them. And again, it's so personal, especially with kids. I mean,
Yeah.
hard to really distract and get away from that one. All right, so that's your morning thoughts. What do I do at lunch after I got completely distracted and I'm reactionary all over the place? And by 10:30, I've taken out
Yeah.
half the office.
So my question for all my clients then is, did you spend any time in the morning thinking about the goal that you're working on for the business?
That's
Because
a
when
that's a great one. Ooh,
we
that's solid
show
gold
up,
nugget right there.
we show up and we work. We just work. We think that's what we're supposed to do. And no, you're supposed to actually try and figure out, did I think about the goal? Because did I get any answers? Like, is this moving me closer to it? Or is there a phone call I need to make? And what happens is they'll go all throughout the day and never think about that. I'm like, so when are you supposed to get any new ideas about how it's going to happen?
Can you talk for a minute about goals? We haven't talked about goals in a long time. So as you know, you're somebody who's helping somebody with their business. You got the long-term goal, you've got the, intermediate goals, you've got your daily goals. I mean, so where are you focused? Or
We
how do
break
you
it
help?
into,
Go ahead, sorry.
there's two different things. Sometimes it's a 90-day goal because they really do just need to either increase the revenue quickly or anything of that iteration because they don't have a good practice with what they need to really focus on. So it's just how do we hyper focus on what you need to do? Usually it's where do you want to be in 12 or 18 months? Past that, the 3 and 5 and 10 year goals make no difference
Hmm.
because what happens along the way, we also have to learn how to pivot. So what happens if they meet the multi 7 figure goal sooner than 5 years? They're just going to hover.
So
They're
do you use like a vision board technique, or do you think that's a good one? Or she's laughing. Hit me, good or
so
bad?
they're all of them. So here's what it comes down to. What we think about we become all day long. And you can interpret that anyway, whether it's vision boards or I'm going to pray or whatever. But it's the ability to direct a focus. And the reason people use vision boards is to be able to picture yourself at the goal. So let's say, well, on my vision board is I want a copper LX hybrid SUV. So I have to see myself in that car. When I'm driving my Toyota RAV, then I'm driving the Lexus. Whatever way. On the back of my screensaver here is Scotland. And the one before that was the house we're sitting in that we bought and sold and moved in 25 days, and we're going to Scotland in the fall. It's just what we focus on directs the attention with what we're working on. So vision boards are great, but I actually go a little bit simpler. Can you have one picture?
Yeah, no, I've talked about this with a lot of people. They've talked with me about it. How did I get to this point? Which I'll still say maybe I'm successful. I don't know. I always closed my eyes and thought
Mhm.
about where, if I'm walking out of my office in that virtual reality world, way back before that was really a thing.
Yep.
What am I walking around doing? And believe it or not, I'm walking around in the thing that I had 10, 15 years in my head, 10
Right.
years ago in my head. But I like the vision board because that does get you away from the money and get you into that lifestyle. What do you want to do? Well, I like to travel. I like
Right.
to drink wine. I like to hang out and drink bourbon with my buddy Alan, which is why I forced him to do this podcast for the last 3.5 years. And you guys are all getting to hear
Cheers.
what has turned out to be our hobby, but has opened up a lot of avenues for both of us. But we love doing this because I love talking about this stuff. I mean, people have asked me all the time, man, is this helping you with your business? I'm like, well, you know what? 4 hours on the golf course doesn't help me with my business either. Yeah, I can do a job out there or do a deal, but I'm still a handyman. Yeah, but no, yeah, this helps me all the time. So back to your idea that it's not all about the money. It is, 100% that, but it's just so hard to really dissect that and get into it and then put the work in, as you said earlier. All right, so we're at lunch, I think, right? So at lunchtime, you said, "Are we working on our goal? What
Yep.
am I doing at the end of my day?"
Ask yourself the question, how'd my day go? In relation to the goal, not how did my day go? What went well today? What went well? So in the morning, so gratitude in the morning, what went well, you bookend it
That's a good
because
one.
it's you're telling, and I don't care what people believe, God, universe, whatever. It's like, can I have some more of this? What went well? Because if we keep saying words like what went wrong, start to pay attention how often things start going wrong.
Yeah, I think what's the study said? 80% of our thoughts are negative,
Mhm.
or 90% are negative. And the good news is that we repeat our thoughts 60% of the time.
Yeah, in Joe Dispenza's world, then you're just recreating your past over and over and over again, like Groundhog Day. We have 70,000 thoughts a day.
That's right. That's a great one. Yeah, you're right, guys. You got to be able to get those positive thoughts in there. And as I've told people, I said there's days when I said the average is, I think it's 80 or 90. I can't quote the exact stat, but I can tell you there are days when my negative thoughts are 99.999%.
So on
But
Wednesday, if you ended the day with what went well today, it would be you didn't fire everybody.
I didn't fire everybody, and I got
that's
a chance to
actually
hang out with
really,
my buddy Alan and my new best friend Ellen, who's helping
yeah,
me thinking about going. I'm going to raft over to Scotland. I think I might do that, or
but
hang
it
glide.
really,
Actually,
it's
not to hang glide.
that,
Never.
it's that ability, because I'll tell individuals sometimes, I'm like, look, the ability when, like I'm not sitting with you guys because the elbow is like not working and doesn't want
I
to drop.
I know we were bummed. When I heard that, I said, "Well, I actually I
Well, who wants to go to the emergency room on 4th of July? You know,
no."
it's,
Not me.
Well, yeah. Well, not a lot of people
no,
with now
not a
with
lot of
eight.
people.
Not a lot of people with 8 fingers now. Or but I will give you another one.
Yeah.
Even Cindy, the person who helps me, my executive assistant who
Yes.
helps and who helps me with these podcasts, she came to me and said, "Ellen can't make it." I'm like, "Well, that effing figures." I said, "Well, you know what? Where does she live? Maybe I'll just go pick her up." she she looked at me and said, "That's probably not a good idea." I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably right."
There
No.
is,
Ellen would be
we'll do it
white
again.
knuckling all the way back.
I did not know a Silverado could get that high in the air. Yes, it can, Ellen. Yeehaw, giddy up, let's go.
But see this is why I said like what went well. It's like we still had fun. We still had a great time. Like even the elbow, people keep asking because I put a post on LinkedIn. I'm like, you should be able to make fun of stuff. Like it's
All right.
just
How did you hurt your elbow?
Yeah, come on, let's hear
I
it.
wish I knew. They keep going, did you fall? I go, no, my husband pushed me down the stairs. No.
Nice. So of course you go to the hospital. When did you stop beating your wife? What? You can't answer that question. I
No.
love that
They're
question.
like, do
When
you
did you
feel
stop
safe?
beating your wife? I'm like, what?
Well, don't you love the question, do you feel safe at home? I'm like, he's standing right here.
Yeah, kick. You go like this. Ice, ice, ice.
Have you noticed when you go to the doctor every single time now, though, they're asking you about mental health questions? Are you thinking about
Yes.
suicide and all that?
Yes.
I'm like,
Well, because
what?
again, with my daughter now, a PA who is now a burgeoning expert in the entire field of everything. That is her father and his health or lack of it.
I
Yeah,
bet she's got some advice for you.
she already has.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, mental health has been the preeminent thing that the medical health, uh, all the new articles are coming out are all about that. Very
It's
interesting.
annoying as can be.
It is, and I think it's getting. Unfortunately, I think it's getting oversaturated. But it's something that, as you know, Alan, I totally believe in it. And for men, we got to seek help. And guys, if you haven't listened to a lot of the podcasts, yes, I've gone to therapy, and I'll admit it. And I'm a Catholic guy. I go to the church, and it wasn't a church thing. It was I had to go to a therapist. I had work to do. Unfortunately, it was about anger management.
Did you pass?
Yeah, no, it took me. I mean, well, no, I mean, it continues. It's just a work in progress. So it is hard, and but we still. So Ellen just said, "I don't know how I hurt my elbow." Isn't that
Yeah.
the worst? As you get older, you wake up and you go, "Why is it taking me 10 minutes to get out of bed?" You're like, "Oh, it was those life choices I made in my 20s."
Yeah.
Maybe football wasn't the best idea. maybe never playing with any protection other than a helmet was a good idea. And even then was kind of iffy.
Oh,
Yeah. So all right. So you don't know how you did it, and it was not fireworks related,
nope,
not rafting, not skydiving.
nope, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're like, okay, fine.
All right, everybody go on the record. If you want to find out how Ellen really did it, you can email me, Chris at thetrustedtoolbox.com, and we'll give you the salacious details. We are the New
Maybe
York
people
Post.
could make guesses in the comments, and then
Oh yeah.
whoever gets it right, then they
I
get
tell
a
you what,
prize.
you send me an email, Chris at the Trusted Toolbox, with your best guess. Closest guess gets.
We should have a couple prizes: most entertaining guess, and then the closest guess.
All right, let's go. Most entertaining guess, or how about the guess you most likely think is not? That'd be the one. The guess you most likely think it's not. And if you respond, Chris at thetrustedtoolbox.com, and we will reward you. You send me an email, we reward you with something special. It may be bourbon related, it may be liquor related. If you're here in the Atlanta area, it may even be the Trusted Toolbox related. Maybe even throw you a little shout out there.
Or
Give you
Chris
some
will
money.
probably take you golfing on the course that he never has taken me, but
You know
it'll
what?
be something like that.
You know what? And Alan said he'd caddy for you, but we're not going to let him play on it. But he's a caddy. So that's the running joke, Ellen,
freaking
is that I live on a golf
God.
course, and
You don't
Alan and
know.
I have never played a round of golf on my golf course. Which reminds me, I did play golf on Sunday before this, and I played the worst round of golf I have played in probably, I'm going Mac, man, probably about 5 years. And I would say I knew exactly why.
Because you're a little distracted.
I was so distracted, it wasn't even funny. Yeah. And this guy was trying to give me advice. And at one point, I muttered under my breath, "Leave me alone."
I was going to say, advice on the golf course is not necessarily good.
No, he actually, everything he said was right. But I could not get my shit straight. I'll give you a crazy thing real quick about all this. When I did this at 3:00 on Monday afternoon, my dad and I talk occasionally once a week, usually, but it's never a set time. My dad called me out of the blue. And he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I don't know." He goes, "You having a good day?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you really?" I said, "What? Did I talk to you about this already?" He goes, "No, something just told me I needed to call you." Oh my God. Next thing I know, he's crying. I'm crying. The whole thing's out. He goes, "Something just told me to call you."
Sam's such a good man.
That's my dad. Yep. Helped me get into business. He's a corporate guy all his life. You know what? You need that every once in a while too, but I mean, I am a God guy. So I think that was a God thing. Yeah, that was pretty big. So not to do that, let's go back to Ellen, shall we? Please.
Let's squeeze her in just
let's-
a little bit before we get back to you.
Well, yeah, but she hurt her elbow, so I figured she's working. She's our one-winged dove.
You
Good
had
thing
you had a great career in financial services.
Mhm.
How did that prepare you for being the successful coach that you are?
Financial services is 95% men. And if you can figure that out, you can work any place and be successful any place. And when I was growing up, my dad owned a hunting and fishing store. So I'm from Illinois originally. And all of his clients were the owners of manufacturing plants who multimillionaires and would come into his store with flannel shirts and jeans on. And he just said, like, they're the same as everybody else. So I learned that people with money aren't any different.
All right, let's talk about this. You brought it up, so let's get into the gender thing a little bit. You
Uh-huh.
were a woman who was successful in business.
Yep.
I have been, in fact, my best boss ever, and I didn't have any good bosses, but she was my best.
Both of us, our best bosses ever were women.
Yeah. And we talk about that a lot. And the reason why is, I have a lot of reasons why for her. But why do you think women are successful in the corporate world? And what makes women successful in a male, and again, let's call it a male-dominated world of business, not male-dominated world and the rest of stuff?
Right. I know that.
I'm talking to my male listeners who probably don't, because we're also dumb.
I actually am going to, it's more of how they grew up. I was a tomboy. I played sports. I went shooting. I didn't go kill Bambi because by the time he asked me to go hunting and fishing, I was like, no, I don't want to go do that. But it taught me how to rely on myself And I think when somebody has those characteristics along the way, coupled with, I'm going to say women listen a little bit more. We just listen, and that's it.
No, it's a
No,
good point on the diversity. You said it. You know, they
yeah,
listen more.
yeah,
They are more empathetic. They think about the holistic picture, I think, a lot better
yes,
than men do,
yep.
from my perspective. I'm glad to hear that you shot Bambi.
I did
You,
not shoot Bambi.
oh, you did
She
not.
chose not to
No,
shoot Bambi. She
I
could have.
wanted to go shoot Bambi, and when my mom told my dad that I really did want to go shoot Bambi, um, he told me I couldn't go because it was a men's hunting camp. And then when he decided I could, it was like, I'm like, you lost your window. Like now I can't do it.
Oh,
So why did you choose to focus on women clients?
Because in light of what you said, there's more women that are unsuccessful. If you look at the number of women who make it to the seven figures in their own business, it's less than 2%. So they'll be successful, but they also settle for less. And not all of them understand what it takes to run a business. Really.
interesting. Elaborate on that one.
So, depending on the profession, a lot of females choose the work because it either gives them purpose or adds value, and they want to help people. We like to help people. That doesn't cause a person to understand, but it's a business. And to run a business and to show up better and to serve the people, you have to make some tough decisions in business and show up and do things that isn't your normal nature. And so in any of them, if you pick, let's pick financial services, they decide to go off on their own and be an independent. A female will convince herself that she's fine at this size, this small size business because it's a lifestyle and she's serving people and convince herself. And my answer to that is if you were put here to serve people, if God put you here to serve people, then why are you playing small?
Hmm.
Ooh, come on, that's challenging and hard. Actually, that's challenging and hard for anybody.
It is. I had somebody yesterday tell me I hurt her feelings.
How does that make you feel?
I'm
And
like,
so, Ellen, you're starting to show your age, or a little bit there, right? The elbow hurts a little bit, and how does that make you feel? Like, hey, suck it up, sister.
pretty much.
And that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I think. What do you think makes a great, successful entrepreneur who's a woman?
The ability to take chances of doing something they don't know how to do and
Ooh,
haven't
that's a tough
done
one.
before.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I
So
think.
are you saying that's not instinctive
No,
then? And so
no,
that's what you're trying to do is help people get outside of their comfort zones.
pretty much. And that's for anyone. To move towards any goal, it doesn't matter, is that you have to do things that are uncomfortable. So I'll put it in this way, where anyone sits today in comparison to the goal that they want to be, and let's choose whatever it is. Let's go on the business side of multi seven figures. They can't be the same person who's doing the same things. When you're running a business 30, 60, 100 times more than what it is now, you're not running it like you are today. So you have to make the decision of what do I have to step out and start doing? In the very beginning for women, it's like you've got to go network and actually talk to people who you don't know. They all
And
want to
that
talk to people they know.
and you're saying if for, this is a broad stroke, but for
Yeah.
women that's not normal.
No.
Interesting. I so you say that's not normal for women to go out there and realize that, especially in a male-dominated world, if you're in a networking event and you see a woman, um, we want to talk to you. I mean, Ellen and I met at a networking event. I was
Yeah.
gravitated towards her. No, I'm kidding. But we were sat at the same table. But I enjoyed my conversation with her a ton. But you're saying that most women are not willing to have that conversation with other men or go out there and open up.
No. I'll give you a good example. So when I was in financial services, I had, I love her dearly. She was an assistant and then she moved into the same role, but we were, we were sending her out to go do some sales calls. And I said, could you just read the sports section? Like, because you have to have something to talk about. And so if we think we don't have anything in common, then how are we going to have a conversation? Because otherwise, those conversations are always about business or just in general. And, we do business with people we know, like, and trust, not just because, like, I want to talk about your business. No,
Yeah, that's a great point. Because what are men taught? Hey, get in there, understand their business. No, stop. Because go back to it. Because you've already got the know, like, and trust part of because you found some other common bond or bonding and rapport. For
Yep.
women, it's harder because you go in there and talk to a man and you immediately think he likes sports, which
No, you walk into an executive office and you look for the golf clubs, or you look for the hunting pictures,
Yep.
or you just look for whatever, and then odds are you've probably got some sort of common background that you can
Yeah.
focus on.
easy as a man to do. But as a woman, you don't walk in there. What is your common bond?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm thinking about this a little bit more.
Family pictures.
Yeah, I guess so. I think you got to go for well, I don't know. What do you go? I would go for college then. Hey, where are you from? You say as soon as Ellen says, "Hey, I'm from Illinois," I'm like, I knew I liked her. She's Midwest. Us Midwesterners stick together. And Alan doesn't like to admit he's from the Midwest because he went to college there in Michigan, which is God's country. But he says, "Oh, I'm from Oregon." Whatever. He's Midwesterner.
My sister-in-law actually have held for a couple of decades the Big Ten record for blocks at the University of Illinois.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, so there's that common bond that
Yeah.
you and I know how to do.
Mhm.
But Ellen's
Right.
saying that as a woman, you don't know how to do that and get that going with the guys.
Not natural for them. They have to figure it out.
That is so awkward. That's interesting. I'm actually the next networking event. I'm going to I'm going to try that out because it's so, not in a creepy old man way. Trust me,
How's that going to go?
creepy old
I'm
man way.
looking forward to this. Invite me to the next networking event you go to so I can just laugh.
But again, back to diversity, and that's the biggest thing I was about is that right now being the president of Narian, which is remodeling in some male-dominated society, right, or male-dominated industry.
And are you working to keep it that way, Chris?
I'm squeezing out every woman I can. You're gone, girl. You're gone. You out. You. No, actually, look at our board. Our board is made up of almost every ethnicity that we have in the U.S. I mean, it's pretty awesome, and I love that diversity. It's men, it's women, it's black, it's white, it's Hispanic, it's Eastern Bloc. I mean, we've got a good job of that, and I love because you make better decisions with diversity. But you're saying that women are afraid to embrace that and talk to men about that.
It's really just being curious about learning about people. Really, if you have a curiosity and you just want to learn. So from Illinois, I have, of the 5 kids, 3 are adopted. So we brought them up to Illinois because they had never lived there. And the youngest at that point was, I don't know, 13, 14. And we're on Michigan Avenue in the elevators and we get off and here's what she said to me. Do you have to talk to everyone?
Mm-mm.
So Ellen, obviously, dad,
Yeah.
dad
And the
and mom
answer
brought
is
you up.
yes, I do.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's so fun.
But
So
she
you're the
does that.
extrovert. Is
I'm an
so,
introvert.
so you're a learned extrovert. All right,
Mhm.
let's talk about this because I got another one next to me.
Yes,
Yep.
you do.
Mr. Podcast guest here is a learned
Gregarious
extrovert.
introvert.
Introvert doesn't mean we don't like to talk.
We just don't like you.
Yeah, I know.
Introvert means at some point I have to not talk to anyone and have quiet and go plug it in, get more energy. That's all it means. That's all it means.
When I'm left to myself, I lose energy. Like during
Right.
COVID, Alan said,
Freaking loved it.
yeah,
I know.
I actually withered like a flower and all I could do was hide in a bottle. I drank so much wine and
I miss it so bad.
I actually, well, because in our business, I was deemed an essentials business here in Georgia. So I used that to my full advantage. I ran every estimate we could just so I could get out there and talk about it. Even with a freaking mask on my face or outside, yelling through a window, telling them what I see. I had to have that. And I came out away from there going, But I went a day without talking to anybody and sitting in my house. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm bouncing off the walls. I gotta go. I have no energy. I gotta go. I need something. It's like you're giving me credit. I need the sun, baby. I need the sun. I gotta talk to somebody.
Yep.
You too. You guys need to go back in, get all charged back up. I'm like, nah, let's go.
Yep. Pretty much. When I
Yeah.
come from a business trip, because you get all talked out when you're traveling for business, and I just look at the family, I go, do not talk to me until tomorrow. Like, don't.
It's like a little kid that's overstimulated and you
Yes.
just shut down.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, you guys have learned that talking to people, finding that connection, bonding and rapport, and finding a common connection. But you're saying for women, it's a lot harder. That it is so
Yeah.
interesting for me.
I'm
Because
really
because when I see a woman in a networking event,
yeah.
I feel more like what Alan said is that I'm not going to go up and talk to her because I will look a little too forward and a little too, and I don't want to do that because that's not
But honestly,
I'm not any of that.
when I think of men and women in general, it's like I feel like women are chattier than men and men grunt.
But there's
But that
here too.
Huh?
Cattier with who?
I guess with other women.
damn it.
Oh, see, she just gave us a little knowing look.
She said yes, everybody. Chattier with. All right, so let's do it, man. Come on, say it like you want to. So that means I got to learn how to crochet and knit. I mean, Ellen, what do I got to do?
No. Be curious. Be curious. The
I
best.
think that's important for all people in
Yes.
sales. You got to be
I-
curious. I mean, genuinely curious. I think it's key.
You know, we use that line in our sales process a lot. Is that you don't know what you don't know, and for me, especially doing the home services now for 18 years, 17 years, and being in all the houses I've been in, I know a lot about houses, but you don't want to hear that from me. I don't know what your pain point is, and so that's what I train my sales guys on all the time: is keep asking questions. Why? Well, why does that make? Why are we doing this now? Why are we doing this today? Oh my gosh! Well, not how it makes you feel that your woods are rotted outside your house or why your deck's falling off, but why is this important? Well, I have grandkids. Like, oh, we just found the hot button, my friends. Let's go. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alan, when you're working with people who are uncomfortable doing that kind of networking, whether it's women or men,
Yep.
it's not just as simple as saying, "Hey, you need to talk to people." I mean, do you have a program that you or a book that you recommend? I mean, how do you help them get out of that?
This is the best advice I've ever gotten. When you go to a networking event, it doesn't matter who, because sometimes it just depends, they're uncomfortable. Go up to who's the sponsor and you ask them who are the three most interesting people that I need to meet here. And
That's
then
good. I like
you
that.
ask them to take them up and introduce you.
Mm.
So now you don't have to come up with anything to break the ice. It's like, I understand you're one of the most interesting people here that I'm supposed to meet.
That might be the gold nugget of the year.
That is the ultimate gold nugget. We're stopping right here. And I'm going to say only one thing. My feelings are hurt because they did not introduce me to Ellen. Jerks. I'm talking to you, Michael. You know who I'm talking to. Robert. Actually, Robert doesn't listen to this one, but
No.
no.
If you're wondering who the most interesting people in the room are, it's not you. Is that what you're saying,
I'm
Chris?
going back to him and going, I can't believe that Ellen was not introduced to me and I just had to meet her at the table. Ellen, this has been a phenomenal episode. You are amazing. By the way, kudos to you. Adopting 3 children is not an easy feat. Adopting one child is not an easy feat. I mean, that is amazing. God bless you for doing that, because that is absolutely why you do what you do. And like you said, you do what you love, and you got the money that you could do, but you said, I wanted to have a big family that can do all this stuff and have some fun with it, or whatever your choice was. Thank you for doing what you did.
I got one question I got to ask before our final four, which is all these cool things that you can see on your bio that you've done. Just amazing. You obviously say yes to everything. What's on the bucket list?
Ooh. Oh gosh.
She meant good question.
I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
Hiking Machu Picchu.
See that's kind of on my bucket. What about the running of the bulls? Would you do that?
No, I run a marathon, run a half marathon.
You don't need to run from animals.
No.
I don't need to run ever again unless it's to go grab a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
running is.
Machu
But I
running is-
don't-
Picchu. I like that.
Machu Picchu.
I don't ever go back to a country I've been to already. So
Really?
I don't understand why people keep going back to the same place. Because my
All right.
bucket list would be is like I'm just going to new places.
All right. So one of my favorite questions is every time one of my friends takes a trip, name the one place you would go back to because a lot of us have that same philosophy. So what
Yes.
is the one place? If I said, Ellen, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
I'm going to fund this, but you have to go back to one place that you've been to before. Where would you go?
Spain,
Where in Spain?
um, Monda, down
Ooh,
by the coast. It's
which? Well, I've been there a lot. So which coast? I don't know.
the south coast. Oh yeah, not north. So we went Madrid south, and Monda is down by the coast, and we stayed in a castle.
Okay, yeah. So my son did a summer abroad in Cadiz. I got to spend a week in Barcelona when I was a kid, and then we got to go back when my son had finished. I've never been to Madrid. I've been all over Spain except Madrid. I love that city. I love that country too, and I've got a friend who lives there. Yep, that's a great one. All right, but I know you're not going back there now, so that's off the list.
Except we can go
Spain's
Madrid
done.
north because we did Madrid south, and then there's
So now so you've opened it up. So you're going to go back to Barcelona.
She's pretty literal.
Barcelona.
Bartha, I noticed that. Good job.
Thank you. That's my Castellan. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Oh my gosh.
We still need to do the paella with those guys.
I know. We actually have threatened and they're ready to do it. We're actually going to do one of our shows. It's going to be cooking paella with our friends in Barcelona on a Zoom call as a special podcast because they want to do it. Actually, a couple of them actually listen to the podcast, believe it or not.
I think that's awesome.
It is. Yeah. Pretty
Hey
cool.
to Spain.
Yep.
We love you.
All right, Ellen, before we get to our final four, how does everybody find you? Because if you're interesting, you're Ellen, you want to talk to Ellen. If you're not interesting, you still want to talk to Ellen because you want to figure out how you want
Because
to eat.
Ellen's one of the three most interesting people in the room.
You know what? Next time I go to a networking event, I make with Tackler. Ellen,
So-
please pick me. Please pick me. Make me tell everybody I'm very
I'm
interesting.
interesting, damn it.
All
Just
right,
tell
Ellen,
us.
how do we find you?
LinkedIn, pretty easy. Ellen Tyler Coaching, and same email, Ellen at ellentylercoaching.com.
All right,
I'm
ELLENTYLER.com. We'll put that in the show notes, everybody. Let's get to that final four, shall we? Let's go. What's the favorite book you would refer to our audience?
Genevieve Barand, Your Invisible Power.
Ooh, tell us about that.
I bet nobody's ever said that, right?
No, that's a
Is that-
unicorn.
Was it the eyeballs coming out of my head going, I don't even know what she just said? I mean,
It
seriously.
sounded French and mysterious to me.
It's times like, I don't speak French. I don't speak a lot of languages. But that's a big one.
I'll preface it. I love old books because there's nothing new. There's nothing new since the Bible that teaches what I get to help clients with. Genevieve Barand was the only student of Judge Thomas Troward in England in the late 1800s and 1900s. And the book is How to Visualize.
Oh my God.
And when was it written?
1910.
All right. All right, Cindy, before you order this one, check with me first. I got to make sure I understand how to
Cindy,
read it.
just order it.
All right, just
in
order it.
English.
But I did this once. Somebody told me to read the Teddy Roosevelt biography, so I bought the original one. Dude, his English was so far gone for where I could read. I was like, dude, this is like Shakespeare. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm an engineer. I'm done. I had to go buy the updated version. Like, hey, this is what he really was about. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh my God.
Cultured, Alan. I'm
What am I
cultured.
going to do with you?
I'm so uncultured. All right, let's get after it. What's the favorite feature of your house?
That it's smaller than the bigger one we sold.
Less to maintain.
Yeah.
I thought you'd say when it's full of my grandkids.
Well, that's true, but then they go home and that's good.
Oh, even more fun, right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God bless you. All right, let's go. So we are admittedly customer service
Freaks.
absolutely crazy about it. What's a customer service pet peeve of yours when you're out there and you're the customer?
That they don't actually answer the phone ever.
Isn't that just mind blowing?
All right, guys, I'm telling you what, this is 2025. I think by 2027, when we are with SmartList, probably on stage with them, or probably they're our opening act,
Or
whatever.
Rogan's actually in your basement.
Rogan's down here.
Yeah.
In 2027, I think what people are going to say is when the AI guy answers or the AI gal answers, and I don't know if it's an AI or if it's a real person. You know, they have right now. I literally listened to one. The AI person, AI whatever. The person says, "Are you an AI?" They went, "Oh, no, that's funny. No, absolutely
The
not."
AI said that?
Oh my God. Oh no, that's funny. Absolutely not.
AI lies?
The one I listened to did. I don't know, but I think a lot of that legislation will come out eventually.
Freaking scares me.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, it's coming. And so you're right. When people don't answer the phones, we were talking about that even in my own business. I would rather have somebody AI answer now than a call center. So call centers will be gone soon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's going to be horrible. You know, I have two ladies in the office who answered the phone for me, and they said, "Is my job in jeopardy?" I said, "No, it's the next two I would have hired that their job's in jeopardy." But I said, "But you guys, I always have to have somebody in our business to understand and believe and love our customers more than anybody else can."
Yep.
And so they're ride or dies with us too. So that's great. All right, here we go.
She's going to have a good one. I'm predicting.
You know what? She's hands on. I
Yeah,
want a
she is.
DIY nightmare story. Ellen, I have put nails through my foot. I have put nails through my hands. I have almost cut off fingers. I have set almost a kitchen on fire. I want a DIY nightmare story.
When we decided to tile our whole floor in the house in Chicago, and then find out that I got transferred here to Georgia. And I'm talking the whole floor, and we had to finish it in a
So it
crazy.
was a nightmare because you got into a project that you suddenly didn't matter and you needed to get it done.
All right. All right. Hang
A
on.
different nightmare.
All right. I
So
want to
much-
know. I want to know who was on the cut station and who was laying it.
I did not cut it. I can lay it.
So you were on your hands and knees the entire time. Thin set, drop. Thin set,
Yep.
drop. Gap. Tile
Which was way
spacers.
better than the Italian plaster I had to do with my grandparents' house in Illinois and learn how to do the swirly things.
You did the swirly things. Oh, we're kindred spirits. The only person in my
Is that
entire
the
company,
technical word?
huh?
Swirly things?
Dude, that's exactly what we have to do.
It
So
is.
I'm the only one in my entire entire company knows how to plaster because I grew up in a house that I had to plaster. Yeah, and trust me, I will never do it again.
Yeah.
Not with all the drywall. Now I say, no, just take it out. We'd never do it again. Get rid of it.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah. We've
Ellen
done
Tyler, this has been amazing. You are a Renaissance woman.
that.
She is.
Renaissance.
So many.
I love it. Hey guys, if you learned something, man, that's on you. Hope you guys had a great time. Don't forget to go out there, check us all out. Hey, don't forget also, we got a new sponsor, Qualified Applicants. These guys are great for recruiting. I just talked with Tina the other night. She's helping me out with another hire after my rant and a rave, and I got to go find somebody else.
Tina puts up with you.
She does put up with me. Tina and Megan are great. They're actually nationwide recruiting for everybody. So if you're in the U.S. and you're looking for somebody in the home services space, you got to figure them out. That's general manager, sales, even technicians. These guys know how to talk your language. Get out there, make it happen. Let's get up that mountaintop and go get successful, and let's freaking make it happen.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Small Business Safari. Remember, your positive attitude will help you achieve that higher altitude you're looking for in the wild world of small business ownership. And until next time, make it a great day today.